Hello everyone, we welcome you back again to our YouTube channel. Today we'll be discussing about this DME staff nurse questions which recently was held in the state of Kerala. We'll be discussing today 15 questions. The first question is, which of the following forms of the myelin sheath in the central nervous system? Which of the following forms the myelin sheath in the central nervous system? Option A, astrocytes. Option B, microglia. Option C, oligodendrocytes. Option D, Schwann cells. Kindly note, myelin sheath which forms in the central nervous system is oligodendrocytes. That is correct answer here is C. Whereas the myelin sheath which forms in the PNS or peripheral nervous system, it is formed by the Schwann cells. So different cells form the myelin sheath in the central nervous system, whereas a peripheral nervous system is formed by the Schwann cells. So two different kind of cells. We'll be discussing in brief about each of these cells. Astrocytes, they are the largest and most numerous nuclear cells. They help to make the blood-brain barrier. Kindly note that. Whereas a microglia, there are cells functions. These are the cells function as macrophages or phagocytosis when they migrate to the damaged CNS tissue. So they are the phagocytosis cells, microglia. The next is the Schwann cells. I have just said that is found myelin sheath of the peripheral nervous system. So from here we can know the right answer here is the oligodendrocytes. Next question. Which of the following is a hinge joint? Option A, elbow joint. Option B, shoulder joint. Option C, hip joint. Option D, atlantoaxial joint. The correct answer here is A, elbow joint. Elbow joint and the knee joint are the hinge joints, whereas a shoulder and a hip joint are the, we'll discuss in this image, gliding joint between the clavicle and manubrium. You can see the images, they are just gliding each other, are present in the acromyoclavicular and sternoclavicular joints. These are the gliding joints in the vertebrocostal joints, sacroiliac joints. Whereas in hinge joints between the humerus and the ulna is present in elbow joints, humerus and ulna between the elbow joints, whereas in knee joints also between the femur and the tibia fibula, and ankle joints also hinge joints, and interphalangeal joints also. As you can see in this image, pivot joints is formed in the atlas and axis. Atlo, there is one option, atlantoaxial joint. It is a pivot joint. Next, whereas the shoulder and the hip joints are the ball and socket joints. As you can see here, this is a ball and socket, shoulder and hip joints. You just have to remember that. So the correct answer here is elbow joint, hinge joints. Next question. This question I have already posted in our official Facebook page. Maybe most of you have already seen and know this answer. Which of the following cells secrete pulmonary surfactant? Option A, type 1 alveolar cells. Option B, type 2 alveolar cells. Type C, type 3, and D, type 4 alveolar cells. Correct answer here is type 2. There are two main alveolar cells present in our lungs. Type 1 pneumocytes. These are the squamous and extremity thin, cover 95% of alveolar surface. These cells type 1 involved in gas exchange, whereas the type 2 pneumocytes, they are granular and roughly cuboidal. They cover 5% of alveolar surface. They are the one responsible for secreted pulmonary surfactant. Next question. Which of the following photoreceptors helps in bright light vision? Option A, rods. Option C, B, cones. Option C, pons. Option D, opsin. So pons, as we know, is a part of the brain. Opsin also is a photoreceptor. So we are left here with two options, A or B. The correct answer here is B, Cones are responsibility helps in bright light vision. Rods helps in dim light, whereas cones helps in bright light and also helps in color discrimination. Rod cells, they are location in the retina found around periphery, whereas the cones in the center, that is at the fovea. Optimal light condition, dim light. Rods helps in dim light, night vision, whereas cones helps in bright light, that is day vision. Visual acuity, low resolution and high resolution. And color sensitivity, all wavelength. Cones only certain wavelength, red, green and blue. Types of vision, achromatic, that is black and white, whereas cone cells, color. Number of types, there are 1. All contain rhodopsins. This is also commonly asked questions. Rhodopsins are present in which type? So in rods or cones, so you should remember this also. Here is contain rhodopsins, these rods, whereas the cones contain the iodopsins. Next questions. Bacterial cell walls are mainly composed of option A peptidoglycan, option B polysaccharides, option B lipoproteins, option D triglycerides, option C polysaccharides. Correct answer here is A peptidoglycan. Bacterial cell walls, most cell wall composed of peptidoglycan is composed of sugars NAG, which is an N-acetyl glucosamine, and NAM, which is N-acetyl muramic acid. So bacterial cell walls are composed of the peptidoglycans. Next question. Which one among the following is a gram-positive bacteria? A. Chlamydia trachomatis, B. Clostridium perfringens, C. E. coli, D. Yersinia pestis. Correct answer here is B. Clostridium is a gram-positive bacteria. From this pneumonyms, we can differentiate which one is a gram positive and which one is gram negative. Almost all cocci are gram positive except GMC. You should note that gonorrhea, meningitis and catarrhalis are all gram negative, are all gram positive, whereas ABC CML, all bacilli are gram negative except ABC CML. So Clostridium here is showing this except this, so others are all gram negative except Clostridium and all this ABC CML. Correct answer here is B. Next, bacilli are a term used for A. Spherical bacterial, B. Comma shape, C. Rod shape and D. Spiral bacteria. Spherical, comma shape, Vibrio cholera and all, and bacilli are rod. So correct answer here is C. Cocci are rod shape. We can see here. Spheres are cocci. Example: streptococci, diplococci, staphylococci, sarcina. All this green color are the cocci, which are the sphericals in shapes, whereas rods, there are bacilli, they are in rod shape. Example: Bacillus anthracis, Salmonella typhi and Clostridium botulinum. Whereas spiral shape is shown here in blue color: Vibrio cholera, Spirilla, Helicobacter pylori and Spirochaetes, Treponema pallidum. These are all spirals shape. So correct answer there here is the rod shape, bacilli rod shape. This is a psychiatric question. Indirect speech that is delayed in reaching in the point but eventually gets from an original point to the desired goal. A. Flight of ideas, B. Tangentiality, C. Loosening of association, D. Circumstantiality, which is the correct answer here is D. Next, this is a simple question. MSE means, we all know this answer, mental status examination. The words schizophrenia is option A split mind, option B split thought, option C split personality and option D split emotion. The correct answer here is A split mind. Next question. Delirium tremens means option A severe alcohol withdrawal symptoms, option B severe opioid withdrawal symptoms. Option C, severe cannabis with withdrawal symptoms. Option D, severe sedatives withdrawal symptoms. Correct answer here is A, delirium tremens present in alcohol withdrawal patient. Lysergic acid diethylamide LSD is a antipsychotic, B, anti-anxietic, option C, antidepressant, option D, hallucinogen. Correct answer here is D, hallucinogen. This is a question from psychiatric related with mental retardation. Intelligent quotient IQ 55 to 70 indicates mild instinctual deficiency, B, moderate intellectual deficiency, option C, severe intellectual deficiency, option D, profound intellectual deficiency. The correct answer here is A, mild instinctual deficiency. We'll see the classification. In mild cases of MR is ranges, IQ is ranges between 50 to 70, moderate is 35 to 50, whereas a severe mental retardation is 20 to 25, less than 20 is profound mental retardation. Examiners also are very fond of asking this question, so I just put this here. Intelligent quotient. The formula for intelligent quotients normally they'll ask MA, which is mental age, divided by chronological age into 100. This is a formula to calculate intelligence quotient. This is extra knowledge or adds on knowledge. Next question, when a person is unable to cope with the natural process of development, that is from one phase of life to another phase of life, example from adolescence to adulthood or early adulthood to adulthood. So correct answer here is option A, maturational crisis, adventitious crisis. This is a crisis question, situational crisis and growth crisis. Correct answer here is A, maturational crisis. This is an interesting question, which is the last question we'll be discussing today. The term nursing process was originally used by, who first used this term nursing process? Option A, V, Virginia Henderson, B, L. Hall, C, D, Johnson, and option D, B. Newman. The correct answer here is B, L. Hall, Lydia Hall. So this is it for today. Thank you. Kindly like, share and subscribe.